Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Entrepreneur Show. Welcome to you guys. Hope you're well. And as always, we have a wonderful guest with us today, Shahed Uddin, and he is the founder and director of PayTap Card Processing Service. Welcome to the show, Shahed.
Thank you, Sharifai. Thank you for having me here today.
Fantastic. Okay, let's start off with PayTap. We'll touch up on that. What is it and how did that come into being?
Okay, well, PayTap, as you said, we are a card payment processing provider. So we target small to medium-sized businesses, and we offer the facility for them to take card payments.
Okay.
So as you know, nowadays nobody is accepting cash.
Yeah.
I mean, cash is slowly becoming...
Not king anymore, is it?
It's not king anymore. So card payment has taken over pretty much. And so we are in a fortunate place where we offer the technology,
right,
the actual services.
Right. So that starts from the card machine and all the nitty-gritty that comes with that, right?
Absolutely. Not just the card machines. You'll find that for some businesses, they need a virtual terminal, which is payments over the phone or online. You go onto a website and you order something. On the back of it, there's an e-commerce or a payment gateway.
Right.
So we do all payment things that are related to payments, basically. That's what we do.
Okay. Right. So, So I understand. Now, with regards to the online service and stuff like that, you've also got a setup for that as well.
Correct, yeah.
Right. Okay. Now, tell me how, from a young age, and obviously the show's called The Entrepreneur and we want to know about you, not specifically about businesses. How did you get, by the way, you're looking very, very young. So my viewers who are watching, they'll probably say, well, I wonder how and when did you get into business? But you're in your 40s. Sorry to just say that. So what got you into the business field, and why not maybe a 9-to-5 job or in a corporate company? Is it from the young age? Did somebody inspire you, or what was it?
I think as a young boy, we were inspired by loads of people, loads of things. When I first started working, I started working at a very young age. You may know the Church Street Market.
Yes, I do, yes.
I used to work there when I was about 14 years old, once or twice a week. But when I started actually working after finishing my education, I was actually more into the public sector.
Right.
I worked for the job centre for a good number of years. Loved it. Worked for the Met Police.
Oh, really?
For another 3.5 years.
What did you do for them?
As a police officer.
Were you a police officer?
So I was actually injured on duty, and that's what prompted me to look for. Funnily enough, when I was injured, I needed physio 3-4 times a week. And,
gosh.
This is the turning point when I decided that maybe I want to change field. So what happened was, when I was injured, I was at home all day getting bored. Yeah, they were paying me, but all my friends are at work and I had nothing to do. And people may think, like, when you have money coming in, you got nothing to do, you're enjoying, but it's not.
It's not.
Daytime TV is the worst thing, especially back in those times, right? So I was bugging my sergeant, and then he put me into the New Scotland Yard officers.
All right.
And that was 9 to 5, and I couldn't hack that. I just couldn't do 9 to 5.
You wasn't used to it.
Yeah. Although I've done...
So were you on the beat, as they call it, or was it more office work?
No, I was on the field.
Wow. Right.
So that was just over 2 years. I loved the job, to be honest. And
no, it's very interesting because, you don't get to meet many, well, I haven't got to meet many Bengali officers, former officer anyway, but yeah.
So that's where I changed my career, and a friend of mine talked about getting into some type of finance field,
And this was what, about 10-15 years ago, was it?
This was back in 2008 when I started in this field. And it's funnily enough, I was actually on a bus going to my first day with a company called GSK.
GSK, right.
And I was supposed to be my first day, and I got a call from another company, an acquiring service that provide card payments.
Right.
And my first question at that time was, hang on a minute, I thought only bank provide this to
that, yeah.
businesses. I did not know. And
Right.
this recruiter was actually, this is something new, fairly new. And I thought, wow, I think I'll enjoy that. So I got off the bus, went for an interview instead of my first day at a job. And from there on, I just loved this industry so much that I've been involved with it ever since. It's about 14, 15 years now. So
did you just say you worked for a company that used to do the card payment?
Well, it's a acquiring bank, yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, I played a big role in this industry from 2008 when it was fairly new that you could actually be an independent business and be a part of this platform.
No, the reason I ask you is just because obviously you learned the trade first, and just for the viewers' sake, and they're watching now, guys at home, you know, and most people actually, when they become an owner of a company or any type of business, is a trade that they've learned, whether they were working for a company before, or whether it could be a family business and then they, you know, opened up their own branches. So, you know, it's good. Just remember to learn wherever you were. You know, it could help any time in life. So, so this was about 12, 13 years ago, and obviously, you know, you've learned, you've picked up the trade. And when did you decide to open up your own company?
So, I opened PayTap in 2017.
Yeah.
But I've actually had opened a similar business back in 2013.
Okay.
Which I then moved away from. I built it, but I was still too young to be like putting in so many hours. You know, as you know, when you have your own business, you're not allowed to be ill, fall ill. You don't have a sick day.
No. 24/7, you're there. You have to be.
You know,
whether in body or spirit. Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I was done, and then I moved away from that after selling it off. And I went back to working with an acquiring bank again, and from there on, I knew that a few years down the line, I'm sure I will get back into it again. Come to early 2017, when I had decided to resign from that post, a lot of the businesses within the acquiring field, they started contacting me. I'm kind of well known in this industry, so I got a lot of calls coming through, and they're like, come on, you gotta do this. Strangely enough, I already had bought the name PayTap several years back. Okay. And at that time, I don't know why I bought it. You know what? I'm sure. So
you own the intellectual property and everything within your...
I mean, I bought the domain and everything, but I never actually got the copyright or anything for it.
Right. Fantastic. So how, you know, obviously you're very, very busy with this business, as anybody is with any type of business. How does your personal life play in? I mean, you know, wife and kids and so forth. How does that play a part in that? And do you give them enough time?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very close to my daughter, so for me, I have to see her every day. Right. So that's a must, and in fact, a lot of way when I don't see her, it affects me. Okay. I think when you are in business, sometimes a lot of the time, it's very difficult to balance your time, you know, within your family and for your work. Sometimes you'll have a meeting late in the evening, and you've already had made plans with your family, and it becomes a situation on what I do. Yeah. Depending on how important it is what I'm doing, I tend to always put my daughter first or my family first. Yeah. And it's often not the case, by the way, because sometimes I'm thinking, okay, well, I could actually just go and do this now, come back and still, spend some time with my daughter. Yeah. It's difficult. Yeah. It used to be a lot more difficult when I was new, when I was starting off, because I hardly had any time.
So you're finding it flexible now?
A little bit more flexible.
No, because this is one of the problems that people do face. But I mean, it helps when you have a supporting family, a wife, children, and we all have to go through that. And what helps even further is if they're involved in it with you. Definitely. Right. So what about parents and family? Everybody's obviously here, and you grew up with them. How was your dad for you, for example, or your mum, in terms of pushing you towards business, or did they just say, you know, do what you want?
I think my dad was like a standard old school dad. You know, either be a doctor or an engineer. And for me, both of this field wasn't, you know, something I wanted to be. I don't know, but he was very happy. He was very happy in anything I got involved with, especially when I was working for the public sector. He was really happy, and in fact, funnily enough, he used to come and spend time when I used to work at the job center. He used to come in with his friends and sit down. And
really? In the job center?
Yeah, because it's like nowadays, obviously, everything is a little bit more restricted. Kilburn area I live in, the job center was quite big, so, and I was actually very well known in there. I've run a number of campaigns for recruitment for the NHS, for the London Ambulance, so I've done a lot there. And my dad always used to be pleased, and my manager was like, "Yo, your son is doing really well," and, you know, really happy. And I used to often spend time there. But you know, my dad was always working, so I've learned a lot from him. In terms of you know, discipline and you know, what to do, what not to do. I spend a lot of time with him. My mom's always been an inspiration anyway. She's you know, your standard typical mom, like, you know, whatever she knows when you're struggling, or you know,
they're always there. Moms are always there to support you. But dads can be strict, rightfully so.
Yes.
You know, in the right times, and you know, and most dads, Bengali dads, like you said, they do want their children to excel, whatever field they're in, and doctors and lawyers and so forth. You know, that's one of the our household calls all the time, anyway. But yeah, so I mean, with regards to you know, parenting, as long as the support is there, as long as you know, they see the ambition in you, they see the you know, everybody's different, right? At the end of the day, so whatever they see in you, which they can work upon, and they're there to support. And I'm there. I tell my boys all the time, you know, you don't have to do what I want you to do, but whatever you do, just make sure you're independent. And secondly, make sure you're providing a service for the people, because that always gives you back. You know, and these are two things I advise them. Now, you being in the business field, obviously, and we see you pop up on social media a lot, right?
Quite a bit, yeah.
How does it, you know, help you with regards to, well, first of all, your business, right? Secondly, how do you like being, you know, everywhere, and do you participate in charity organizations and community work?
I'm heavily involved in our community, involved with a number of other communities as well. But I enjoy working with people. I've always made sure that I have you know, a good bunch of people that I'm together with, and I'm fortunate that the kind of people that are with me and working with me, I can rely on them, you know. But I've always been involved with our community one way or another. I think the key thing is it's just that lately I'm finding that, and I am involved with a number of charities, by the way, officially and unofficially, and I enjoy working with charities as well. But also a number of, I mean, a lot of things suddenly comes up, things like you know, women empowerment and things like that, when they ask you, like, you know, what do you think? I enjoy working with type of categories of people as well. But lately I'm involved even more within our community, and I actually enjoy that.
But do you, is it how do you think, is it that you want to give back to the community because they've given you so much, or because there could be different reasons, right? So what is it for you exactly? Why do you, is it just because you like it, or is it because you want to get back to the community?
When it first started, being going out with a lot within our community, it was mostly because, you know, I was within the circle of people who were like, well, you know, let's go there, it'll be good for your business, let's go there. But I started enjoying it, and that's when, you know, I actually, now it's more about socializing. You'll find me sometime in East London. I'm from Northwest, and it's because, you know, a lot of my friends are there, a lot of the people I'm comfortable, you know, spending the evening with, having a meal with, are there. You'll find me there. Oh, you know, we often would just go out together for a meal. A lot of the time it's just in events where you're together. So I enjoy that sort of. Not only does it help my business because I'm always there, but also the fact that I, learn something new about somebody else that I've only seen their face before. I mean, even today is at your show, I met somebody new, I haven't met him before. So for me, I enjoy that.
It's always good. I mean, a business, and first of all, you're providing jobs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So automatically, you're helping the community. I think.
Yeah.
And that's why I always wanted to be a businessman. Secondly, you get to meet different people from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
And that broadens your horizon. Okay, it's education, I'm telling you.
It is.
And obviously you've got to like what you do. And then you can also advertise your business, and it just, it just makes everything bigger and greater, and it's just a whole big universe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Now, within your years of running businesses, tell us, just for the viewers, what kind of difficulties that you faced and how did you deal with it?
Well, first of all, always having a job and then suddenly starting a business, it is doesn't matter how much you believe in what you're about to do, you will come at times you'll be like, okay, well, now I'm actually on my own. I have to do this. I have to put my own money in. I have to invest. So that alone sometimes could be very stressful and worrying. To overcome that, you just have to keep going in what you believe in. I've had my plans, and thankfully I had a lot of experience in this industry, so I had an understanding of what I wanted to do and what I wanted to achieve. I'm still in that zone where I'm achieving things. I got a lot to still do. The difficulties often were, when you work with a banking partner. So a lot of the time, you've done everything you needed to do, but there is a delay here or there, and then ultimately, if it's my business, I'm responsible. So I can't just pass the responsibility over to a bank or somebody else or a worker. So I had to take action, and those kind of things I had to be on top of. I've never believed in micromanagement, so the people that are working with me, they always have the freedom to do whatever they want. We always get together at the end of the week or discuss it during a phone call, and thankfully now I have a bunch of people that I'm really close to, and I understand them, I trust them, and vice versa. Starting off, I actually hired a number of people that, it wasn't really good for my business.
No, so, that's what business is about, and then you choose the right people. I have 3 W's that I follow, and they are who you do business with. Okay, so they could be partners, the demographic of wherever you are, and what type of business is it, and where is it. And it plays a big role. So all these 3 things, and I think every businessman, they have their own, W's or whatever other letters you want to call it. Okay, well, brilliant. Now, and obviously businesses, it means, whether it's business or not, it means difficulties will come, and it's how you deal with it. What would you say to the viewers, just maybe one thing that when you face difficulty, what you should do?
I think if you're hungry enough to be in business, and you could be hungry for either money or success. Me personally, I'm actually hungry for success, and if you have that hunger, you will actually find a way. And often with my guys that are working with me, I give them the example of a guy back home riding a rickshaw.
Right.
He's on that rickshaw because he have to, and if he doesn't do his job, he may not have enough money to provide a meal for his family at the end of the night. That's hunger. That's real hunger. It's that need that I need to do this. If you feel like you need to do it, you'll find a way. But if you think I'm 50% here, this is a backup, and I have another backup, I'll go fall back on that. It may not be always the right thing to do, because at the first hurdle, you might find yourself turning back. So for me, once I stepped into this business, I had to keep going forward, and whatever came through, my hunger for what I ultimately wanted to achieve, I needed to make sure that I'm that disciplined enough to go that way. But also because, as you said, a lot of people are working with you, so you're also responsible for them as well. And you think, okay, well, I need to do X, Y, and Z to make sure we are all achieving what we need to achieve. And I think the main thing for me was hunger, that I had to keep pushing myself.
Brilliant advice. Brilliant advice. when you're hungry, you find a way.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, so any future plans now?
I got a number of plans, but I still feel like we got a lot to achieve with PayTap. So I'm very fortunate with the type of clientele I have, a very loyal customer base, and I appreciate that. And a lot of my businesses come through referrals as well. So I'm very happy with that. But I still got a lot of things I need to achieve before I could say I've done what I needed to do.
Fantastic.
We're halfway there.
That's a good way of looking at it, because if you've done everything, then you don't need to do it anymore. So yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Now, just for our viewers, and that's your camera, just give us 3 tips that you would, especially young viewers who are watching and who wants to be like you in the field of business and so forth.
Number 1, whatever field you want to get into, do a lot of research, be it the service industry or a product industry. Do a lot of research into how you want to, what you can achieve from it, how you're going to start it. Secondly, tell yourself that for the next 2 years, you're not looking for a profit. And thirdly, whatever it is, you're going to understand that there's going to be issues, there's going to be teething problems. Just keep going. That would be my advice.
Brilliant, brilliant. I always ask my guests to give us tips, and it just helps people who watch the show and wants to be a businessman. And I've always wanted to be a businessman from a young age, and my son says I want to be a businessman as well, Dad, like you. So and like I said, when you're a business person, you provide jobs, you provide a service to the community, you're part of the community. There's a lot of love as well. Obviously, be a good person as well, honest. Okay, well, brilliant tips from Shahed Uddin. So first one is research, and obviously whatever business you want to do, you need to know what you're getting yourself into. Secondly, don't look for a profit, because any business you do, eventually money will be coming, because first of all, you've got to inputs, you've got to have a big fund. So depending on what type of business you do, and don't look for a profit. Any kind of business, actually, statistics is first year you put into the pot. And if you're lucky enough, then from the next year, you'll be seeing some returns. And the third one is keep going. Don't give up. As soon as you fall, just stand up again. And by the way, fail is a good thing, because it just makes you learn. So guys, hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for watching. And until next time, from myself, Assalamu alaikum.